Is this kind of a counter to a lot of the prophecies we hear about, Skynet and AI? Is this why you wrote that, to kind of put a lot of those things straight?
Well, a little bit. I think optimists decide the future. I think optimists are the ones who actually form our future. And
Can you explain that? I've never heard that before.
So, well, if you look back in history, all the things that we have now were all done by optimists.
Right, because they dared to do it.
Because they dared to do it. And I think you behave better when you're optimistic. You're thinking about the future. You assume the future is going to be friendly. You're doing things for the future. If you're really pessimistic, you're not going to take those chances and those risks. It's a very risky thing to make something for the long-term future. If you're not optimistic, you're not going to engage in anything that would take more than a generation to make. But some of the best things we have, look around the city, were things that took a long time to make. So you have to be optimistic, because those are the things that are going to endure. And so I'm a little concerned right now that, at least in Hollywood and a lot of science fiction, that the future is always a place you don't want to go to. And so I did write the book in part to try and make a vision of the future that I thought I wouldn't mind living in, I would like to live in. And I think if we can imagine it, then we can kind of make it. And if you talk to a lot of people today working in technology, they were very influenced by some of those earlier visions of the future. They were going through the list of Star Trek, the communicator, the tricorder, the holodeck. We're basically, and not just me, people in the industry were inspired by that to work on it. So I think we do want to have a picture of where we want to go, because it will inspire us to make it and to work towards that. And part of what I did in the book was I have these scenarios where I kind of imagine what would a world look like where it wasn't so important to own things, where maybe you didn't own anything and you were just accessing everything. What would that be? That would be kind of cool. That's almost like being the hunter-gatherer going through the forest, not owning anything. They just pick up something they need at the time, they use it, and they leave it behind. It's kind of returning to a little bit of that kind of tribal person who was free of possessions. Well, we can almost imagine that in the future where you didn't really have to own very much. You actually just had access to it. It's not that you didn't have these things or you weren't using them, but the idea of ownership is a curious kind of an industrial age idea that wasn't present in early tribes. And maybe we don't need it again.
Continue watching this fascinating conversation for free by clicking on the link below to visit our website, learn from the best minds in the world, and connect with a community of passionate people building the best versions of themselves. Just click on the link below, and I'll see you on the inside.